If there's a movie, he's gonna rate it. He's gonna talk to his friends and they'll debate it. He's gonna try his best to not be a hater. His name is Billy the Movie Grader.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Movie Grader and Friends podcast, your weekly or semi-weekly podcast talking about all of the latest movies in the theaters today. I am Billy, the Movie Grader. In this episode, I am once again joined by my friend Justin. Say hello, Justin.
What's up, everybody?
In this double episode, Justin and I will be talking about Zombieland Double Tap first, and then go into Terminator Dark Fate. I apologize for the delay, but life happens and I cannot always get to the movies. First up, Zombieland Double Tap. Zombieland Double Tap was released back on October 18th, 2019, and basically picks right back up after the first movie 10 years later. Columbus, Tallahassee, Wichita, and Little Rock all come back for some more zombie killing. Thoughts on the movie and our favorite scenes? I thought the humor in this one was better, and I really enjoyed all the Elvis references within the movie, and it was just a fun movie. Jess, what'd you think?
Same. I thought the Graceland whole little scene and detour was awesome. Very funny. Woody Harrelson killed it. Jesse Eisenberg kills it like always.
Oh yeah, Eisenberg's such a great actor.
Yeah, I mean, it was Zombieland 1 times 2.
Yeah, so, it was pretty much the same movie as the first one.
But Rosario Dawson was a cool addition.
Yeah,
I thought she was funny, and then the whole Luke Wilson and the guy from Silicon Valley, their little.
Oh yeah, Thomas Middleditch. Yeah, I enjoyed him. That was a cute scene too. It was pretty funny. I mean, there's really not much to really say about the movie other than it was a sequel to the first one, and it was well done.
Short. It was
hour and a half.
Well paced. It was a lot of action.
Yeah,
cool effects. I liked it.
Just more zombie killing, just like the first one. So if that's your thing, definitely give this one a shot. Any other thoughts on Zombieland, Just?
No, it was good. I liked it.
Yeah.
I'd give it a solid B.
Solid B. All right, yeah. I give it like a B-. It was fine. I enjoyed it. All right, now for the next movie, Terminator Dark Fate. Terminator Dark Fate was released on November 1st, 2019, and it stars Linda Hamilton, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Mackenzie Davis. It's about Sarah Connor and a human cyborg named Grace. They are both tasked with protecting a young girl named Danny from the latest modified liquid Terminator. Let's see, what were some of your favorite scenes, Just?
I mean, it opened pretty clean. I really liked the future scenes where you see look at the future combat with Grace.
And what about that flashback with Sarah Connor and John Connor?
That was cool too.
It looked real.
That's the opening scene. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
The opening scene was really good. They had a scene where they CGI'd Sarah Connor as well as John Connor, Edward Furlong, that guy who has one movie credit to his name, which is T2.
He got into a mess though. Wasn't he into drugs and all that stuff? It got dark.
Yeah, it got real dark for him. His fate was rather dark. Pun intended. But yeah, I liked it. I know it got ragged at the theaters. People were like, it's trash. Yeah. And yada yada. I thought it was actually great.
I enjoyed it.
I didn't expect it to be great, and I was actually pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
That even with Arnold being still in it, it was actually done very well. And I even liked Arnold's role. I thought Arnold's role was a nice culmination and end to the whole Arnold Terminator saga.
Even though you just gave away his plot line, but it's fine.
Well, I didn't give away any plot line. I said it was a nice end to the Arnold Terminator saga. I didn't tell people what happened. I just said it's a nice end to that saga.
Like, it's a good bookend. Yeah.
It might actually continue. I mean, they set it up for
you never know.
Potential sequels if need be. I'm not going to give away how that happens or why that happens.
Right.
But I thought it was rather good. And honestly, like, I didn't have a problem. I know people think after, Liquid Metal T2 and T2, or Liquid Metal T1000 and T2.
Right.
That was the end-all, be-all pinnacle of Terminator as a viable franchise or a story. Like, I actually like T3 with Christina Logan as the female Terminator, and how at the end they show the missiles take off, and then John Connor and Claire Danes, or whoever that guy was that played John Connor, I don't know his name, but him and Claire Danes, they're holed up in the bunker at the NORAD base, and then they start talking to people on the radio. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, T3 was pretty good.
I thought Salvation was cool. Only thing I liked Salvation was Avatar Boy as like a part cyborg. They did it wrong. They actually did it right with this girl and her part cyborg, the way they explained it. I didn't really get Salvation. I liked Salvation, but I never got that part of it. Like, why was he made? blah blah that, and then Terminator Genesis with Khaleesi from Game of Thrones. I don't know. That was, but see, the only thing I didn't like was that this Terminator was also the Genesis Terminator, based on nanites, where he could like remake himself and everything. It was a bit much, but I thought the way they used him, and even that guy that played him, he actually played. He was. Let me put it like this. The guy that played this nanite Terminator was as close as you could get to the scariness of Arnold's original Terminator, as well as Robert Patrick playing the T-1000.
Yeah, you could tell he studied Robert Patrick.
Yeah, he studied Robert Patrick to a T. Even Arnold, and he actually played his role pretty well.
Yeah,
and they had some nice little cool dialogue for him when he did have to speak.
Yeah,
like it was cool. Like it wasn't Get Out, like when Robert Patrick went through the helicopter shield or helicopter cockpit and told the pilot to get out. It wasn't that iconic, but but there was some cool stuff in there though. Like I was pleasantly surprised by Terminator Dark Fate.
I mean, to me, it's like T2 is, I don't know, dare I say one of the best films ever made.
By far.
And like the Terminator franchise set the bar so high for itself that none of the movies have since been that epic and great and iconic. I mean, the T-1000 with Robert Patrick's performance paired with it. I mean, years ago that made me legit scared. He was so good in that movie, and you can tell. Not only in Dark Fate, but in movies prior, people have tried to replicate that kind of performance. They got closer. The actor who played the Terminator got closer in this, but it still wasn't as good as Robert Patrick.
Not at all. I mean, but it was good though.
Yeah, he did a great job for what it was. I mean, you could tell it was, he was doing his best to do what Robert Patrick did with all of his mannerisms, but it's basically, it's a step in the right direction. It had a similar feel to me, like the old movie, which was a good thing. I mean, even like the score was great.
The music was great. The effects were great. The action scenes were was what locked me in.
Yeah,
like I was not expecting the action to be that good and that on point.
Oh, the movie was filled.
The action was the detail and the depth on the action pushed it, and you could see James Cameron's touch back on this franchise.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm not gonna lie, I liked the action in T3 with the whole construction truck, going all over LA with the girl swinging on it, the girl Turner.
Right.
I even like Salvation with the, Christian Bale, John Connor, them like rappelling down into the base and the A-10 Warthogs going above.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And then, shooting the air Terminators and the motorcycle Terminator bikes that transform.
That was the only part of the movie they didn't put me to sleep.
Exactly.
Salvation,
that's what
Salvation was so boring.
Everyone loves Salvation for that first hour, like that first fighting hour, and then after that they just went into some weird tangent.
It was so boring.
But and then Genesis to me didn't really have much. I was like, Khaleesi, young Sarah Connor, I guess.
She did a good job, though.
No, she did. That's what I'm saying. It's Khaleesi, young Sarah Connor, I guess. Yeah. But this one is not an I guess. I was actually entertained, locked in, and wanting to see what was happening next.
Especially that freeway chase scene.
That was awesome. Good too. There was more scenes than that.
Yeah.
That was really good. Actually, my favorite scene in the whole movie might have been the airplane scenes.
Oh, the airplane scene was awesome. Airplane scenes with the Hummer.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Exactly.
That was so well done.
Yeah.
We don't want to give away too much because there is a lot of action in this, and despite what the other critics say, this actually is a must see.
I liked it. I give it an A-.
Yeah, I mean, I gave it a B+ only because nothing will ever be as good as Terminator 2.
I give it an A- because it's actually a good reboot, or not reboot, but a good initial storyline, original continuation.
Exactly.
I'll give it that.
I agree.
A good A-.
I agree.
It actually summed up some stuff that needed to be summed up, and
the story was well thought out and it made sense. Yeah. They explained everything. You're not that confused by the end of the movie.
Yeah,
it was entertaining. Really well done. Well acted by pretty much everybody. Yeah. I mean, granted, Linda Hamilton's not the strongest actor in the world, but she did a good job.
It was good.
The little girl, I thought did a really good job.
That was a big surprise.
Yeah, she did a great job.
Latina girl surprised me. Yeah,
and Arnold was great in it too. And it had some humor in it too.
Yeah, it was good.
It's not going to make you laugh out loud throughout the whole movie, but
it was good.
It's highly entertaining. Yeah. Now we've got those two movies covered. We're gonna talk about the movies that are opening up in the week of November 8th, 2019, which is next week. And the first one up on the docket is Midway. It's directed by Roland Emmerich and it's starring Woody Harrelson, Ed Skrein, and Patrick Wilson. It is about the famous Battle of Midway, through the eyes of the sailors that lived it. Just, what are your thoughts on it? You want to see
Should
it?
be good.
Yeah, it looks fun. I
Yeah,
mean,
should be good.
it looks like, it looks like Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, should be good.
Should be entertaining. And next up is, I don't know, it's kind of like a kid's movie. I don't have too much hope for this, but it's Playing with Fire. It's directed by Andy Fickman and starring Judy Greer, Keegan-Michael Key, and the great John Cena. Per IMDb, it is about a rugged group of firefighters that rescue a few wild kids. I really have no interest in seeing it. Probably won't. Just, you're going to skip it too, I'm assuming? Yeah. Please find me on Instagram and Twitter at The Movie Grader, and please visit my website, www.themoviegrader.com. On iTunes, please review and subscribe to the podcast if you haven't already done so. And also, please tell your friends about the podcast. Thank you so much for the support. That will do it for this episode of the Movie Grader and Friends podcast. Next episode, be on the lookout for coverage of Midway. Please find me on Instagram and Twitter at The Movie Grader. Please visit my website, www.themoviegrader.com. On iTunes, please review and subscribe to the podcast if you haven't already. Also, please tell your friends about the podcast. Thanks for the support. The Movie Grader and Friends podcast is available on all major podcast platforms such as Apple Podcasts, Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, and basically anywhere you can get your podcasts. This has been the Movie Grader and Friends podcast. Thank you for your time. Feel free to email me at themoviegrader.com with any comments or suggestions, and see you next episode.